Okay, guys, so today we're going to be talking about Killing Floor 1 in 2025. Obviously, Killing Floor 2 is a very popular game that's been out for a while, and we're looking forward to Killing Floor 3, which is supposed to be coming out later this year. But let's start by taking a look at the game that started it all. Well, technically, it wasn't this game, it was a mod of Unreal Tournament 2004 that came out in, I think it was 2005, but it was in 2009 when they released a standalone game. And while the full release is based heavily on the Unreal Tournament mod, there are a lot of key differences, namely in the specimens and obviously the graphics as well. But yeah, so based on your interpretation, you could be saying we're playing it 16 years later, but we're really playing it 20 years later, technically, because that's when it started, was the mod. And yeah, it's been 20 years. Years before Left 4 Dead, years before Call of Duty Zombies, this was a true pioneer when we're talking about co-op zombie shooters, because there really weren't any that really existed before Killing Floor. With an in-game currency system that you use to buy weapons and upgrade them, a perk system with different abilities to choose from, and yeah, it's a wave survival mode that we today take for granted, but back then wasn't really a thing. And this was developed on Unreal Engine 2, so it's obviously shown its age. I mean, we're talking about a game that came out probably around a time when a lot of people watching this video weren't even born yet, right, if we're going to be honest. Even 16 years ago. I'm sure there's a lot of 15 and younger year olds watching my channel. So, yeah, it's a very long time ago. I think, though, despite its age, despite the graphics, obviously, and everything being dated, the gameplay at its core is still fun, and still provides a good and satisfying experience in 2025. Obviously, if I have to pick between this and Killing Floor 2, as far as which one is worth playing more, I'm going to go with Killing Floor 2. The gameplay, the graphics, the maps, everything is a huge upgrade over the first Killing Floor, and the level of mod support also is much greater in Killing Floor 2. So, if we have to pick, it's obviously the second game, but if you're a huge fan of Killing Floor, you played a lot of Killing Floor 2, you're excited for Killing Floor 3, but you never played Killing Floor 1, I'd say give it a go. Before Killing Floor 3 comes out, it's a different experience, but it's also Killing Floor at its core, and it's a great zombie game. So if you're just into zombie games in general, I think you'll like it. The gameplay is unlike anything I ever really played before. Between the way the weapons actually feel and the way that the zombies and the AI behave, it's, yeah, I actually really enjoy. I played a lot of it back in the day. I think it was 2012 when I played it for the first time. It was on sale, and I heard a lot of good things about it, and I played it, and I'm like, yeah, this game is pretty good. So I'd play it sporadically over the years. It was never, like, a main game that I put hundreds of hours into. But I'm still happy that I got to experience it, and I still play it from time to time. And it's, yeah, like, a really solid game. The community is still fairly active. You have a few hundred players on Steam every single day. It's, like, anywhere from, like, 2 to 300 on any given day. So it's not a very big game in terms of community, and I suspect the player numbers will be even lower once Killing Floor 3 comes out, whenever it comes out. It was supposed to come out in March, I believe, but it actually got delayed very recently, so it's probably not going to come out until towards the end of the year. But as it stands right now, you'll have very little problem finding a match. There's plenty of servers that are active. The game supports up to 6 players, and you can pretty easily get at least a few near full servers going, because, you know, it's not like Call of Duty where you need like 12 plus players to fill up one game, or whatever other game, like, you know, a PvP game. With co-op, it's a lot easier. Even if you only have like 100 or 200 people, chances are you'll be able to get something started and something going. And with Killing Floor 1, that is certainly the case. So because of that, because I think it's a nice look back at history to see not just how the series got started, but really how the wave survival zombie genre got started, because it really, like I said, was a true innovator in that regard. So I think it's a cool game to kind of go back on and play. It's especially good if you can get it like really, really cheap on sale. They usually go like, I don't know, like less than $5 during the Steam sales. So in that case, it's a no-brainer. like, yeah, you're gonna get at least some. You're gonna get your full money's worth. But yeah, Killing Floor 1, I think, is still great in 2025, and I would easily recommend, even though it's only on PC and not on console. It is so old that anybody can run it on their computer with very little problems there. So, Killing Floor 1, 16 years later, 20 years later, however you want to interpret it, is still very much worth playing. Absolutely.